Hello, my name is Michele, and you're listening to Profit is a Choice.
When I started my first business, I was just doing the work that was in front of me. I've shared that with you all before. I had no real plan for where I wanted the business to go and no real plan for the financial success and long-term sustainability of my company. Each year, setting goals kind of felt like I was just choosing what felt right at the time or what I was hearing from others that they thought that I should do or that they were doing without any real basis at all. And you know what? The goals I set didn't end up mattering to me very much as the difficulty of the year progressed. Just like those fitness goals that we all set in January with good intentions, mine fell by the wayside. Let me tell you, there's a better way. And that's what we're going to look at today on the podcast.
Every day, empowered entrepreneurs are taking ownership of their company financial health and enjoying the rewards of reduced stress and more creativity. With my background as a financial software developer, owner of multiple businesses in the interior design industry, educator, and speaker, I coach women in the interior design industry to increase their profits, regain ownership of their bottom line, and to have fun again in their business. Welcome to Profit is a Choice.
Maybe you're here because the idea of unfounded goals resonated with you from the introduction. You know, it's easy to create goals without basis in our life and in our business. And we sometimes create goals that we're told we should, and then we have really no extreme connection to them at all. I'm talking about that really visceral connection where you really, really care if they happen or not. I've done that. And I still can find myself doing it if I'm not careful, like being told you should be doing A, B, C, and X, Y, Z. Kind of like just creating that ongoing task list that never seems to be done, that just creates busy work upon busy work that leaves me feeling exhausted and frustrated and behind, no matter how clean my cabinets or drawers or whatever else it is that I'm doing. And I've also shared with you before that when my kids complained in high school about a subject that they were taking, I was really big on what I called connecting the dots. I would remind them that what they were taking with that particular subject wasn't just because of what that was teaching them, but for what it was moving them towards, and that was college. And then the same held true in college. While we did allow our sons to do some exploratory learning, some courses that they were interested in, we did not allow them to go to university, choose whatever course felt right at the time without any plan, and then just hope that everything fit together in 4 years for a degree of their choice. Because that's just not how it's done. What they did was like every other, person in college. At some point, they chose a degree, and then they did the coursework required to get through that program. That is a strategic plan. It's a strategic plan to get out of high school, a strategic plan to get out of college. And, we need a strategic plan in our business. But how often in our own company do we just try things all over the place without any type of plan? Maybe you've heard this phrase, throwing Jell-O against the wall to see what would stick. Now, don't hear me incorrectly. I'm not saying that we shouldn't try new things or have an open mind, but I am saying that we cannot run our businesses with long-term success and sustainability if we have no idea year to year where we're going and what we're hoping to do or accomplish. This is where a strategic plan comes in. But here's a warning. If you go digging on the internet, you're just like with anything, right? You're going to hear all types of nitpicking about the term strategy or planning and what they mean and why you should do it or shouldn't do it and how it all works or doesn't work. But what I'm going to attempt to cover with you in this podcast and the next solo this month is just a looser idea of a strategic plan. A plan that we actually use instead of one that we create to look all beautiful but becomes totally worthless. This isn't a business plan. This is a strategy. I would much rather you have a less formal plan or strategy that gives you direction than one that looks beautiful and sounds eloquent and gets put in a drawer. Okay? All right, so let's begin by explaining what a strategic plan is and what it does. A strategic plan, simply put, is a document that tells where a company or an organization is going. Consider it like a roadmap for traveling into the future with your business, or like we talked about before, the degree that you're going after if you are in college. It's sharing where you want your firm to be, by when, and then how you're planning to attempt to get there. Now, know this. This is a strategy that we call a living strategy, meaning it's changing. Just like in college, yep, we're going to keep using this analogy, so make peace with it here, okay? Every course you might need for your degree isn't offered every semester or even at the time that you can take it based on your course load or maybe schedule availability, among other things. And then some courses have prerequisites. We have to do one thing before we can do another. The same holds true for us as we grow and scale our companies. Please, as you work through this exercise with me, give yourself grace and flexibility to allow for changes, diversions, and other opportunities as they present themselves. I know when I create my 5-year strategy, I'm always monitoring where I am within it and then when to create a new one. I'm in the process of creating a new 5-year strategy because I've just finished up my last one. And, things are changing all the time. That's why it's a living document and one that we are managing and maintaining towards. It is not meant to be dictatorial in any way, but it is meant to kind of set a path and a guide for where we want to go. So again, give yourself, opportunities for things to move and change, but just know that you've got a general course in front of you. That person who kind of changed their degree 2 years in? Well, again, like us, it might cost them a little, but the cost is minimal compared to the cost of staying on a path that brought them no joy in the future for a career they didn't love. And that holds true for us. All right, so let's keep going. In this episode, we're going to dig into what a strategic plan is and why we need it. And then in the next one, we'll cover what's needed in the plan, how to make it and do it with ease. So here are 5 reasons that you need a strategic plan. Number 1, a strategic plan allows you to choose your direction with intention. Creating an intentional direction might sound scary to you. I know I've had moments where if you asked me what I wanted in my business, I might have very easily said, I don't know, and I didn't. In my experience, with myself and others, this is very normal. Sometimes we might have a very true idea, just this truly clear idea in front of us. And the closer I am to the timeline of what I'm doing, the clearer my goals. Sometimes I don't even know what's possible. We hear that a lot too, right? I don't even know what's possible. Finding out what's possible opens up the ideas for creativity that allow us to figure out where could we go. I also have found as I've aged or matured that I've left behind my ability to dream unless I give myself time to focus on it. Really give myself the freedom of time and removing distractions so that I can just dream. And now that's what I do. I've mentioned that before in my year-end planning. I take off a couple of days. I go to a hotel. I run retreats with my elite clients so that we can do some of that work just to give myself a chance to dream and to research and to be inspired. I dream about my future. I dream about my company, my clients, my offerings, and my team. And when I get stuck not knowing what I want, I move my attention and my thoughts to what I don't want, because at times this really can be clearer. It can be more clear what I don't want than what I'm moving towards and do want. And so with that, again, that clarity comes by making note of anything or any feeling or any product or service or person or type that I want to avoid. And once I've intentionally identified what I want and where I want to be and by when, I can move forward with ease. Just like in college, the courses might be difficult, but at least I know the coursework is aligned with the degree I'm getting and the future career that I want. So it is with your strategic plan. Dwight Eisenhower said this: in preparing for battle, I have always found that plans are useless, but planning is indispensable. Number 2, a strategic plan allows you to work proactively, not reactively. You all have felt it at some point. We all have that being we call it like being like the little rat on the wheel. You're running the hamster on the wheel, running around all the time, always playing catch up, never in front of anything. Sometimes it's because we don't have a strategy in place. And so part of the beauty of creating a plan is having an idea of where you're going to be able to plan in advance. And this keeps us working proactively instead of reactively. If our business is run by the seat of your pants type of endeavor, we're always going to feel behind and harried in our approach. Being able to create systems and processes that allow for a repeatable outcome brings stress relief and the ability to manage resources more effectively. So here are 2 real world type examples. First, let's continue on and stay with kind of our college analogy. If we know the coursework required for our degree, we can plan out the semesters with the course load in mind and with the professors that maybe we want to learn under. We can also plan for internships and job interviews early instead of being behind the hiring process. We know where we are. Here's another one. Imagine you're planning to travel, but you don't have a strategy for where you want to go. So you don't make detailed travel arrangements. You pack a bag, you show up at the airport, and you jump on the next plane to somewhere. And you land in Alaska. And it is gorgeous. It is absolutely beautiful. The landscapes are fantastic, and you are so excited to explore. However, because you did not do advanced planning, your suitcase is filled with clothes better suited to Hawaii. It doesn't mean that the destination of Alaska is terrible. It just means you're ill prepared to move forward with ease. You're behind the ball. In our business, we don't have to do it this way. To stay a step ahead, we just have to keep our eyes focused forward and to plan a few steps out. Again, the closer we are, the more detailed the plan. The farther out our goals, the cloudier they might be. And that's okay, but at least we have them out there. Yogi Berra said this, if you don't know where you're going, you'll end up someplace else. Number 3. A strategic plan allows your entire organization to work together with clear goals. By now, you understand what a strategic plan is, how it creates a clear, intentional movement forward and keeps you proactive instead of reactive in your decision making. But it also allows your entire team to be on the same page. Imagine that. Everybody you are working with is helping you move forward towards where you want the company to be because you all want it to be in the same place. Imagine for a minute if you had employees or vendors who were constantly trying to move you down a different path than the one you wanted to be on. The tension would be terrible and your joy would be zapped. Every day would feel like entering a battlefield in your work. Communication errors would abound, and a clear, concise decision-making process would be mostly non-existent. I don't know about you, but that sounds miserable to me. I want to work with those who know what the company goals are and where we're all working in the same direction. I want everyone to be bought into the position that they're responsible for and to make it happen. I want to work together and support each other in the ups and the downs because they are there. This is not a straight line. This is a zigzag. And the only way to make this happen is to define it and to own it. Benjamin Franklin said, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Number 4, a strategic plan allows for consistent messaging internally and externally. Not only do we want our organization to work together with clear goals, but we also want the messaging that we put out to our consumers externally to be just as internally cohesive. If we show up in the marketplace scattered, then our clients are going to scatter. Knowing who we are, who we serve, and how we serve them, and what makes us amazing is part of the messaging that can make or break a company. You know what? If we're not sure of this, if we have this identity issue, if you will, we breed distrust in the marketplace. And we've all heard the saying, know, like, trust. The faster we get our potential clients to know us and like us and trust us, the faster they'll go and spend money with us. But when our messaging is all over the board, we come across as an immature company that's finding itself, not a company that they're comfortable spending money with. And to be very honest, we're in a high value, high dollar industry. We just are. People are spending big bucks with us, and they need to be able to trust us in every way. And knowing who we are as a company and where we're headed will allow us to create messaging to put our clients' fears at ease and to be part of our story moving forward, and us a part of theirs. Number 5, a strategic plan allows for resources to be used wisely and with forethought. Every company has a limited supply of resources. Some of the resources that we could be talking about could be time, money, and people. We only have so much capacity. And knowing how to spend each of these in the best way possible gives us an advantage. When we know that we need a specific skill set in year 3 of our 5-year plan, it allows us to plan our HR strategy to support that company goal. And our financial strategy as well. We can either hire for that skill set, we can train for it, but knowing it informs our job descriptions, the processes we have to hire, and our process to provide product and service. Knowing our longer term goals informs us of what to do with an extra net profit. Should we bonus it out to everybody or save it for a capital, I can't even say it. Can we, or should we save it for a capital improvement? How should we best invest those funds? All decision making is done with forethought, not just getting through the moment or year, but making it to a future destination. And I want to encourage you to start thinking about the future destination. You may not be able to think 20 years out or 10 years out. Try 5. At a minimum, do 3. Creating a strategic plan isn't difficult, but it does take time and attention. On my next podcast this month, we're going to cover how to easily create this plan. My clients, the ones that I'm working with in my Elite and my Designers Inner Circle coaching programs, we're working to create our 5-year strategies and then to manage within them, to set all the KPIs necessary, and to make sure that we have SMART goals written that support the overall plan. We're looking to do this and to manage them on an ongoing basis. And I would love to assist you in doing the same. I work with and support business owners who are committed to their company, their employees, and their clients. And we focus on building strong business principles, beginning with solid foundations, focused financials, and scaling with intention. If you're interested in committing to your business success in a very dedicated way, then sign up for a discovery call and let's talk about it. Creating a strategy for your business and profits needs to be done intentionally because neither happens by accident.